You have Qatar.
I don't see the Jets winning more than 8 games, maximum of 9 games this season.
Even with Aaron Rodgers,
I don't see them winning more than 9 games.
The business decision of the Super
Bowl. I like to buy a boy. They tackle him in that they are pass again.
No. Okay.
You never even start. You don't already want to cancel us.
You want to cancel us.
Dr. Dre and the likes all perform, and basically because they said, because it's from the hometown and stuff like that. That has never been the case. That's just first of its kind. Do you know what is so funny? Kendrick Lamar did a show, earlier this year, and he sang that song. That song, they did Not Like Us, 5 times on stage, and every time is different. For the first few years of his playing career, he made sure to go and get like doctors that would say undisputedly, like, if anything happens, they will take charge.
What is the medical reality? Yes, he should he should be given the chance to make the decision by himself.
At some point, Derek Carr could have stayed in the pockets, called his girlfriend, "Hi, what's up? How you doing? How's the night going?" and still threw the ball and still wouldn't have gotten sacked. Akin, please, you can go to your workstation and set up. I don't know why you're looking like you're in someone else's house. You went to steal or something. I don't get it.
I'm in my house. Calm down, sorry. I just wanted to show you guys my lovely face and to tell you guys I'm lucky.
Please, where are you going to?
It's the 8 years in Qatar. You have Qatar.
It's the Charles residence. He's going to appear on the episode of Club Shay Shay.
Hello, guys.
Let that man get arrested, Jerry.
Welcome to another episode of the NFL Table. Akin, are you going to rest or you are joining us?
Hold on, sorry. Let me switch to my. You guys, wait. I'll be on the call, and then I'll switch to my. What's it called?
Don't worry. You are not in someone else's house.
What do you guys mean?
I think the best place to start is it was an eventful first week, Polish, because there are some results. I don't think there was any result that stood out that blew your mind and you said, oh, this shouldn't have happened, because the Dallas Cowboys went to Ohio, they went to Cleveland, they beat the Browns. Patrick Mahomes, LMH's new team, defeated the Ravens. Who else? Like, we saw Tampa Bay played well. Carolina Panthers obviously really struggled. The Vikings, at some point, Kevin O'Connor was making, what's his name? Sam Darnold look like a very special quarterback. The Steelers were proving what we've known for the past 3 years, that they have one of the best defenses in the league. And if you have a very good defense, you would always win games, like we've seen from them. It now begs to measure that, okay, I think for me, what I actually wanted to see last week was the Jets against the San Francisco 49ers, because prior to Aaron Rodgers' injury last season, a lot of people expected, this is the New York Jets. They are very good on both sides of the ball, but they don't have a quarterback. They had a quarterback to be Super Bowl contenders, blah, 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 and all the topics that we kept seeing. What I saw last week, Monday, I think the most disappointing aspect for them was the brightest point for them last season was their defense. That's why they were able to win some games. And the San Francisco 49ers ran through that defense on Monday, unfailingly. At every opportunity that they had, Jordan Woods took the ball and just went through them. Thank you very much. Jordan Mason, I beg your pardon, took the ball and he just kept going through them. And that was the backup quarterback, an undrafted rookie, who's supposed to be the backup quarterback to Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco 49ers. Yes.
Running back.
I say running back, I beg your pardon. Then on the other side for the Jets, we saw Aaron Rodgers play well with Garrett Wilson. There's chemistry to be developed there. There's a lot of progress that can be made there. Like, you're hoping that, okay, it will continue to get better, especially this weekend, when you consider the games that are available this weekend. If the defense doesn't step up, I don't see how the Jets are going to go as far as people are expecting them to.
If the defense, I think the question is, how far are people expecting the Jets
to go to?
I don't. So maybe we have different opinion of where the Jets will get to. I don't see the Jets winning more than 8 games, maximum of 9 games this season.
Even with Aaron Rodgers,
I don't see them winning more than 9 games. Aaron Rodgers, the last season in Green Bay, he won 8 or 9 games. He could not even beat the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs. So Aaron Rodgers is not the Superman he was maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Also, he's 40 years old now. 40 years old, coming from an Achilles injury, he's definitely going to have growing pains. And you could see he was very immobile in the pocket. He could not move. He could not really change the pocket in that game. Now, for the Jets generally, if you lose Bryce off, who had 10 sacks, and you lose another linebacker, and then you brought in Hassan Reddick. Reddick is also coming with at least 14 plus sacks. But for some reason, due to your stupidity, your lack of understanding, you're having struggles with your new player that has not even played. He hasn't even practiced one session. And this guy was telling Eagles that he went to Super Bowl with. He was telling them, I'm not coming to practice. I'm not playing if I don't get a new contract. And in the last 3 years, or the last 4 years, I think only Myles Garrett has more sacks than this guy. If Eagles let him go because they could not meet his budget requirement, how much more? What's it called? You're allowing him to come in and you don't pay the right thing. So their defense is not about superhumans. You need someone that can get to the quarterback faster than anybody else, so that your secondary can hold up. But if you don't have people that can pressure the quarterback, you are not going to be able to do anything with your defense. And Hassan Reddick is one of the best at getting to the quarterback in the NFL. So that alone is a mismanagement from the general manager of the Jets. And it feels like they would have that struggle because they did not replace. You can't just talent. If it was easy, yes, you can find undrafted free agents to do some things. But people as prolific, as talented as Hassan Reddick, Bryce off, you can't just replace off the streets. You need that time to have planned for their replacement. So I think they will struggle a lot. And the only other part I will say is that I will not want to overreact generally because one of the toughest tasks they'll probably have this season is playing the Niners. Yeah. The Niners are very physical. The Niners don't play around. The Niners punch you in the mouth. So the Niners are probably one of the best. They are probably the best in the NFC. So them suffering the defeat against the Niners is not the biggest alarm bell. But I think it's their defense not being able to even put up a fight. That's the problem. If their defense doesn't shape things up and wrap up, especially if they're playing Tennessee, game has started, then Robert Saleh probably needs to start sending out a CV.
That's true, because Saleh is known as a defensive guy. He got the job because of the defense he had with the San Francisco 49ers, former defensive coordinator. Aki, I'll come to you about Carolina and Tua Tagovailoa in a bit. But because LMJ, the Super Bowl is here, but it's not really here. But the way the NFL works is that you have to plan for 2025 Super Bowl, which is going to happen February next year in New Orleans. I think the biggest debates with the entertainment sector and the NFL was the fact that Jay-Z, who is in partnership with the NFL, Jay-Z and his company they have a huge say in who's going to perform during the Super Bowl halftime show, which is a big deal. We're not going to get paid, but obviously we saw what happened with Usher last year. He didn't get paid, but the streams for his old songs, his album that he released just before that Super Bowl performance, the numbers went through the roof and what have you. And now, because Lil Wayne feels I'm from New Orleans, I should be going to my hometown to perform. The NFL have announced that Kendrick Lamar is one performing the halftime Super Bowl show next season. And Nicki Minaj and a few other American artists went off to the roof that, Jay-Z is a sellout, deserves to be it. Anytime you see him, he's on set. Once I see him like this, he's on site, blah, 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 it's crazy. And I have two issues with this. Firstly, I was reading a report that said when Lil Wayne had his tax issues and the tax evasion issues, Jay-Z was the one who decided, you know what, I'll pay so that you don't go to jail. Do you understand? I'll pay so that you don't go to jail and everything. And Lil Wayne himself said a few months back that he would love to perform at New Orleans in his hometown. How do we go from, I'm going to help you pay for your tax so that you don't go to jail, to, I hate you because I did not choose you to perform in your hometown? Don't get me wrong.
Because you did not choose me. Of course, you did not choose me.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have seen Lil Wayne because of some of the nostalgia and his old songs. But the trend around the noise around Kendrick Lamar is probably worth it. So why is this sudden idea that Jay-Z is a sellout? Kendrick Lamar is also black.
I feel like we need to start from the precedents that one, there has been a lot of preceding beef between some of Birdman's guys and Jay-Z. Sure, you get. So, and you can't expect somebody, with all respect to Nicki Minaj, you can't expect somebody with the business brain of Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj to be on the same wavelength when it comes to making business decisions. The business decision for the Super Bowl, the business decision of the Super Bowl.
I like to buy a boy. They tackle Nicki Minaj. That they are fans again. Okay. We never even start. You don't already want to cancel us.
You want to cancel us.
Okay. It goes without saying that when it comes to business decision, any executive will choose Jay-Z over Nicki Minaj. And
why are we?
Let's just ignore that line. Ignore those two words I've said in the past.
Okay.
Now, the fact remains that yes, there's a sentimental value that comes with Lil Wayne performing in New Orleans. But the best decision of who to perform is Kendrick Lamar, considering the catalog he has been able to release this year, considering the way he has been able to influence hip-hop. Yes, it is just a beef. But this beef transcended beyond the beef, and it became a major part of Black history, of hip-hop history. So it is time to now ride on that wave and make something out of it. To cut the story short, I did they say that thing on Snapchat, is the fact that even if Lil Wayne performs in this Super Bowl, he's not getting paid. So there would not be, like, the after effect of that performance would be very low. And it will be close to uselessing that opportunity. So I feel like if Lil Wayne was ever to come into the picture, it would be something similar to what happened with Dr. Dre, Eminem, where they had a combined performance. I think that is where a Lil Wayne would work. That is where.
Let me interrupt you for a second. You can continue your point. I think the reason why the Dr. Dre, Eminem, and co, the reason why it worked out was Dr. Dre is from Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles, and that Super Bowl held in earlier as well. So it was like a homecoming, hometown hero kind of vibe. So those are defending the whole, it should have been Lil Wayne. We're building their arguments based on that if you did this for Dre and this his hometown, why aren't you doing the same thing for Weezy?
I think there are multiple arguments that are going on. Oh.
Sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
No vex, so I beg, sorry, it's just gonna be short. So I think it's just a case of like the Super Bowl for last year, whereby Dr. Dre and the likes all performed, and basically because they said, because it's from the hometown and stuff like that. That has never been the case. That's just first of its kind. So people just came up with that ideology that because if the Super Bowl is holding at a particular place, they need to like call the artists that actually come from that particular. No, that has never been the rule. It was just one of those exceptions. Let's just put it like that. So you cannot continue to dwell on that. And that particular performance met the numbers they want. These guys always have like this, what's it called? Like the potential. They know what they're expecting. Yeah, they predicted the numbers. So anybody that is talking like this are just like passionate fans, and that's just it. But it's the truth. These guys are business people, for crying out loud. They have to think numbers first when they're actually discussing this thing. So Jay-Z is just making some business decisions to choose, and no one should be offended. And for those people that, fans are, and when we compare catalogs to I'm pretty sure both of them can actually come up with 10 songs each without features that can actually maybe do the numbers they want in this thing. But it goes beyond just the catalog. It's not the catalog now. It's a case of who is having a good year so far, who would drive that numbers for us. And the person is simple. It's just Kendrick Lamar with the beef. The beef is helping, and they have to like amper on that beef. Because I mean, do you know what is so funny? Kendrick Lamar did a show, is it earlier this year? And he sang that song. That song, They Not Like Us, 5 times on stage, and every time is different. Crowds are reacting to it differently. A lot of people are singing to it differently. To sing a song 5 times, a particular song 5 times on the stage. So these guys are only reacting to numbers, and people need to understand and just drop emotion that a businessman like Jay-Z is only thinking about numbers and taking and leveraging on Super Bowl, because Super Bowl is the best opportunity. Someone was saying something, I shouldn't be even saying it online, but the best time to catch US unaware is when is during their Super Bowl, because everybody is tuned up. So it's the numbers this time around. No one should be offended why they are selecting Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne.
I totally agree with you, but I feel like Nicki Minaj's argument is very faulty. Like it is baseless on different front, because even when Lil Wayne had issues with Birdman and they were fighting, they had a lawsuit, Jay-Z was the one that was financing the whole lawsuit. So it's just the fact that she has a grievance against Jay-Z, and she saw an avenue to air it out. Same with every other person that is talking. And obviously, they would have people that would be on their bandwagon too. So I feel like it makes no difference. And eventually, as long as Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, they remain cool, they are cool. And they would always remain cool. So as long as they are cool, they would, like, for somebody as talented as Lil Wayne, I'm very sure he would still feature in a lot of
and to just finally add to what you guys are saying, and the past shows that Lil Wayne has been holding, he has been forgetting his lyrics on stage. He's not in the best frame of mind right now, to be honest. Let's be honest. And this is me just being, I'm concerned more about his health. I'm just putting that out there. No, it's the truth. I'm back in school, back in OAU there. I'm Lil Wayne biggest fan, man.
Wait. I think there are a couple of points that you guys have made already that are what's called that are valid. That is, NFL is reacting to numbers. Who do they think will give them the best number? Because obviously they are trying to get as much numbers as possible. NFL is big business. Whatever it is that is business sense that is positive for them, they'll do it. They don't really care like that. All that things about societal, homecoming, all those things. The Super Bowl has been played in New Orleans about 11 or 12 times, and it has never been an homecoming. So that's also a valid point. The only thing I just want to point out as we move forward, because I think it's a very deep topic to talk about, is we need to, as much as yes, we are talking about Kendrick will put on a better show, we need to also respect Wayne's catalog. Lil Wayne has had shows where he did like 30 songs without, back to back. Yes, he has had shows where it looked like he was missing some lyrics or he was not sharpest on stage. But we all know its effect of substance abuse and stuff like that. But there are some shows like Rolling Loud where he did about 15, 20 songs back to back, remember every lyrics, and was sharp and everything. So I think if he was performing the Super Bowl, it definitely would be a different kind of performance from him. And we've seen him do classic.
Aside substance abuse, on the issue of forgetting lyrics, let's not forget that this is someone that actually doesn't write his lyrics. I've seen Lil Wayne perform to people, and he had to.
I have not.
Hold on, he had to hold his lyrics. He had to hold his phone to read the lyrics, because when he was rapping those particular songs, he didn't write them down. He just kept going. Do you understand? So I get that I'm not saying in support of the whole idea of homecoming or no homecoming. It's a business game. Someone mentioned on Twitter today that, the new world that we live in, you love a TV series very soon, and next it has been cancelled because it doesn't do the numbers. We live in a world whereby the numbers are too important. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Before we even come to how good the Carolina Panthers are, your favorite team, I need to ask you a simple question. Should Tua Tagovailoa retire?
No, that's up to him. So, I feel like a lot of people have... No, to be honest, they feel like they have say over somebody's career or also over somebody's source of livelihood. You understand? People forget that, yes. And this guy says it best because I've been following all manners and different opinions and people having all sorts over his career and stuff. And Ryan Clark actually said it worded it best. He said, the guy is a sickle cell carrier, SS, yeah. And he played with it all his career. He said the only thing he made sure of while he was playing is that so NFL they were going back and forth like, oh, we can't risk you. It's not good for the organization and stuff like that. And the guy said, you know what? This is how I'll fight it. He went and get the best because he already started making money there. He said for the first few years of his playing career, he made sure to go and get like doctors that would say undisputedly, like if anything happens, they will take charge on the field. He said that was where he first invested his money on doctors, on the best doctors. He said, because as far as he's concerned, this is something that puts food on his table. This is one thing he has dreamt all his life of playing, which is what? Football. And he says, anything that has to do with football concerning his career, let him be the best. Let him be the person to make that decision. No one should start saying, oh, he should retire. It's not worth it. When did we start saying it is not worth it? People dream to play football. People dream. This is people's dream for Canada. You are saying it's not worth it. I'm pretty sure you can't. Most of them have played football. They've been players before. And if the tables were turned and it was them, they probably won't say that. That won't be the first thing that comes to their mind first. Like, oh, you know what? I want to retire. No, because a lot of this is tied to it. He's thinking in his mind that, oh, he's still young. He still has a lot of years to earn. And also, we shouldn't forget that the organization might also be like, we just gave him a big contract. This shouldn't happen to us. What do we do? A lot of things is happening. So let him be the person to say, you know what, this is what I want to do. No one should start having opinions over what he wants to do with his life. That's all I have to say about that. Because I can't also give an opinion that he should go and retire. I don't know. It's crazy.
I think the best way, another way to put this is, Akin mentioned all his life. He has worked out all his life for this particular moment. Like, a lot of people don't understand that to become a professional athlete, you must have put in a lot of hard work at a certain point from young age for decades, like working hard, working out, being in class and all what have you. To then suddenly call it quits because of, concussion is a big deal. Let's not downplay that. Head injuries are career-derailing injuries. But it would be unfair to then say, oh, you suffered concussion more than a few times now. It's impossible to manage. So you need to retire.
I don't think the word is unfair. It will be what is the medical reality. Yes, he should he should be given the chance to make the decision by himself, but there should be like a full-on proper investigation and like data for him to use to make that decision. Because as much as when people tell you, oh, he had 3 concussions in 2022. He had 1 concussion in college. He's had 1 concussion now. That's 5 concussions, and he's still, I think, 26 or 25. He's not the oldest. So, and what's the chance? And you play in a sport where you are likely going to be hit and probably going to, be concussed going before the end of the season. So if you are susceptible to concussion, and if the research is showing that there's a likelihood that for every time you get a concussion, the likelihood of it repeating is higher, and then the side effects are more. I think that's the only place I'll say they should provide him with that information and let him make the decision. Okay, so now it would be unfair for them to tell him, because let me finish. I don't think it would be unfair for them to say, guy, I think we think he should retire, because luckily for him, he just signed his extension. He's guaranteed 90 million that he can take if he stops playing now. So 90 million is enough to do whatever he wants to do, start your life, improve your life, whatever. Some people don't make 20 million in their life. You're not in charge of his finances, so we don't know if he has debt or not, or he has responsibilities. But that's not a side. No, that's of course. I don't think he has racked up any debt to use like. Oh, I will just. I'm just saying. If what should happen is, guy, see the information. We think this is what. Let
me just point something out. I have no what's called argument over what you said. What you said makes a whole lot of sense. Like, bring the data out and tell him this is what you do. Another thing they also need to point out to him is that the way he went, the way he should have actually taken a slide instead of actually ramping with the defender. If that makes sense, guys. Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah, continue.
That's what I wanted to point out. Like, you know what? He also made the stupid decision to also go element for element when you can actually have taken a slide as is expected or as is suggested to a lot of quarterbacks. He made a dumb decision. He could have actually taken a slide. So that's another thing. That's on him.
I think you are this particular conversation around taking a slide. Is you are trying to tell, it's just like you are trying to tell someone that is in the battle, in a field of war. You're supposed to have bent your head like this instead of like this. You'll have avoided the bullet. This is an after effect. Wait. Okay, let me land. This is an after effect.
Wale, am I the only one here? But we can always agree that he also made a dumb decision to go to actually go. You dive. Did you even slide?
He's trying to see.
What are you saying? I'm only just pointing out what you could have actually done better going forward.
I get your points.
What I'm saying.
You are using paracetamol after the That's what he's telling you that.
I'm not saying going forward. That's what you guys forget when I said going forward. That he can avoid this mistake. That's what I said.
The concussions he had, he was not trying to die for he was not trying to get a first down. He was literally in the pocket and he was slammed in the pocket.
And he got concussed.
So this is for you saying that,
wait. Are we looking at a different video? Wait, you guys didn't see that video that he went with Amlin, that he went this way?
Yes.
I am saying,
yes.
I'm saying the previous concussions he has had, that was not the way he had those concussions.
Okay.
So this is just a medicine after death.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you guys were referring to. I didn't know you guys were referring to. I was only talking about this one. That was what I was.
The previous one, he was in the pocket. The previous one,
I'm sorry about that.
And he was slammed in the pocket and he had a concussion. So we cannot say, because when you are playing the NFL, Damar, for example, that he ran into, Damar literally fell down and died on the pitch from his heart. And still that same place, that same chest that Tua actually ran into. So you can't.
It was his arm. It was actually his arm. Actually,
you can't be 100% or try to really know exactly what would happen because it's split seconds. These decisions are being taken in split seconds. I'm sure if Tua looks at that clip, we're like, I should have slid, I should have this, I should have that. But at that moment, adrenaline, you are trying to, get the first down. You have been losing all game. You are trying to see if you can salvage anything. He did that. But what I'm saying is, before the other concussions they had, he didn't do that. So what I'm just saying is, they should prevent the data before him. Let him analyze the data and see.
Another thing I can actually add to this, I understand you now, and sorry for misinterpreting what you said initially. Another thing I can add is during John Burrow's first season at the Bengals, like he wasn't taking the slide, and so I think the second season when he tried, actually there was a particular play I think they were playing, I've forgotten, and the particular defenders thought he was going to go with his, and then he took the slide. You know what John Burrow said after? He said to the defender, I have learned my lesson. I will take the slide. So I'm not saying that the deed has been done. Don't get me wrong. But there's a reason why quarterbacks are always advised or are actually taught in the game to also take the slide. And if I'm what's his name? Tua, and I know my past is not what it's about me. Like there are certain places you've gained it down, you can just as well just slide. You are the quarterback, for crying out loud. You don't want to put yourself, you don't want to be doing what's called the job of an offensive line or a tackle. You're just the quarterback. That's all I'm saying. I understand what you said.
I think both of you have a point in this argument. in the sense that, one, I feel like Tua needs to protect himself more in that particular instance. And we've seen the other incidents whereby he just got tackled like a normal quarterback who gets sacked and he got concussed. And ultimately, the decision rests on his hands. So at this point, we can only wish Tua the best because we're talking about one of the most accurate throwers of the ball, of the ball itself in the NFL. And whatever decision he makes, we wish him all the best because based on his family. But speaking of quarterbacks, Akin, I know you're in Carolina, and to be unfair for me to not to put you on the spot, Bryce Young was the number 1 overall pick back in 2023. If I'm not mistaken, 2023. It was number 1 overall pick ahead of CJ Stroud. I don't even want to bash. I don't want to make this about Bryce Young now. We saw the way the Panthers lost scandalously to the New Orleans Saints last week. And my question here is, because I watched that game again later, like a few days back, and the only thing I could see from the Panthers is that the Panthers are just a bad team. Like when I say a bad team, they are just a bad team.
I mean, there's no romanticizing it. You said it all. Like they are just a bad team, and it just goes to show that they're still not like attacking the problem. They're not building around the quarterback, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're just saying, "Oh, let's address a position whereby we felt with." How do I? There's a I don't know. You can say it best. There's a difference between like, what is happening?
Cowboys
are chopping it.
Yeah, something is happening to them.
Are you guys serious?
Are you a Cowboys fan? Continue what you were saying.
I said I don't want to ever miss when they are beating those guys, and I'm already missing it. I swear that's what. No, honestly, that's what I have been saying it since like last week. I said I don't want to miss when they are beating because it's going to be televised like this particular season, but onto like the Carolina. So they're not building around like Bryce Young, and Bryce Young is not a bad. What's it called? He's not a bad quarterback. There's a reason why he's number 1 on the draft when he was drafted to Carolina Panthers. And the GMs, they need to sit and then just build around him. Start with, I think the offensive line is poor. They don't have, I mean, I'm not confident with the receivers depth they have. So there are a lot of things that are actually bad and they are not actually addressing it the way they should. I don't know, man. If you guys have any other opinions about it.
Don't get me wrong. I saw the game. The 2 interceptions he threw in that game were totally his fault. Especially the second one. You see Adam Thielen running, the route is open, and he completely overshoots him. And I'm wondering, this is really bad. Those interceptions were bad. But you're watching the game, definitely. And you can see the running back is fumbling ball. The defensive line can't stop anybody. At some point, Derek Carr could have stayed in the pocket, called his girlfriend, "Hi, what's up? How you doing? How's the night going?" and still threw the ball and still wouldn't have gotten sacked. I know that CJ Stroud is a special talent because you don't do what he did as a rookie if you are not special. But what's the probability that you will have CJ Stroud in that situation and we are not yet questioning whether he's good enough to even throw a football?
So the thing there is, no quarterback can function with a ridiculously ineffective offensive line. No matter how solid, no matter how superb, spectacular you are. There was something Shador Sanders said like 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about his footwork. And he was saying, yes, you can have your footwork, you can practice and have all those things. But if you are running around and fighting for your life all the game, at that point, the flight coming, where you're just trying to survive. So all these sweet things you have done about how to position your legs and your footwork to make sure you throw better, those things go out the window because now you're just trying to survive. So it's the same thing you're having. You can't see what Bryce Young will be able to do. So far, you still have a situation whereby he's behind that offensive line that crumbles so fast. So I think that's the first thing. And the management, which is the ownership, has shown that their ineptitude is up the roof. They are busy, that they change coaches at any small time. They are not consistent. They don't have an ideology.
They're looking for a quarterback whisperer.
So they will probably just waste what's it called? Bryce Young's talent, and maybe he'll end up as a backup in 49ers, and then finally Shanahan will now be able to win and then a Super Bowl or something. Like that's the kind of trajectory that is, because I don't see with the Panthers turning things around, except they get a GM that what's it called? the owner allows to do his job. Because it's one thing for you to get a GM that knows what he wants to do. It's another thing for the owner with lack of experience. Because this owner came from a financial sector.
Yeah, I think what you just pointed out now, because we need to educate our viewers that the owner was the one that I think he overruled the GM and said, "We take Bryce Young."
Take Bryce Young, and that makes a lot of decisions like that. So until you have an owner that allows the general manager to do his job, you're going to have that kind of problem continuously.
I think our time is fast spent on this week's episode. Guys, thank you so much for being here. LMJ, at some point, Mahomes would give you joy. Man United is giving you joy with the 3-0 win over Southampton. So please, enjoy it as it goes. You never can tell. By next week now, Crystal Palace...
now. You didn't tell me I should wear my Arsenal shirts here now. You're wearing your Barcelona shirt.
Me, I've always been a proud... Wait. If you go and look at...
Yeah, your house now. I think I change now.
When we are losing, when we are winning...
I don't even have an Arsenal jersey.
But you are waiting for the opportunity to win the league, which...
You're right. Yes, you're right.
I think I'll argue with you.
You think I'll argue with you? Bolish, so you think I'll argue with you? You're right.
I think.
But I hope you all know this is Guardiola's easiest season ever.
I mean, I would want facts rather than you just throw it out there, man. Guy,
it's not. Are you?
No, I want facts. Just go ahead and give me the facts.
Okay, Arsenal will always be Arsenal. 2. Okay, I should have said that as the last point.
That's not even a fact. You started off with that. In fact, now jest. It's a jest. No. You see, forget it. You don't fuck up. I gave you a medium. I gave you a platform to give me facts. And you started with a jest. I don't want to get you.
Okay. Yeah. One.
You don't. Guy. It's a shame that you are on this kind of podcast that we're supposed to analyze. And you started off with a jest. Now I'm disappointed.
It's not jest now. How is it jest?
Viewers must be disappointed right now. Viewers are disappointed in you, Bright. Honestly, you started with a jest.
We all know that is no jest. Like it might sound like a jest. It might sound like a jest.
Before you continue your drama, I need to signify to the viewers that we are done. Aki and this thing can continue later. Do you understand? Guys, thank you so much.
Arsenal will always be Arsenal.